OnePlus Nord CE5 review, and I know I am late, sorry for that. A lot of you guys demanded for the review of this phone, and I also uploaded a community post where you guys asked a lot of questions and I picked all of them and I'm going to answer to you. But there was a lot of confusion between these two phones as well, between OnePlus Nord 4 and Nord CE5. So don't worry, while reviewing the Nord CE5, I will keep on adding the Nord 4 where you can actually understand the differences and what are the advantages on Nord CE5 over the Nord 4 and vice versa, so it will be easier for you to pick the phone. And if you are here just for this phone and confused that whether you should buy this phone or not, then just watch this video till the end and I promise you that you will be able to find out by your own that whether you should buy this phone or not. So now with that said, let's start the review. Well, see, in this video I'm not going to talk a lot about the specifications because I assume that you guys already know about the specifications. In this video I'm going to share more of my experience of using this phone, and also one more thing, for the first 15 days I used this phone as my primary phone, but then after that I used this as my secondary phone because OnePlus Nord 5 then Pixel 10 was my primary phone. But still I used this phone enough to share my experience and to help you decide. So starting first with the cameras, then in nutshell the cameras are good, but let's talk more through camera samples. So here is a mini comparison with phone 3a and you can straight away notice that Nord CE5 is on warmer side whereas phone 3a is on cooler side, but portrait shot is great in both the phones, great edge detection, alright, night flare is there in both the photos, but again even in low light shots you can easily see that Nord is on warmer side and phone 3a is on cooler side. So it's up to you that what type of photo style you like more. There is not much difference between the two phones, but in low light Nord CE5 is slightly ahead than the phone 3a. And now if you compare it with Nord 4, then sometimes Nord 4 pictures look slightly better than the Nord CE5 and sometimes Nord CE5 photos looks better than the Nord 4 in daylight scenarios. And there is not much difference to be honest in daylight shots, but in portrait shot Nord CE5 is ahead with better skin tones, and also Nord 4 is messed up. My skin tone here, you can see I'm so yellowish looking, but Nord CE5 is good. But in this photo, I mean, I don't know, the Nord 4's dynamic range worked absolutely fine, whereas Nord CE5 failed to deliver. But again, as I said, sometimes it's Nord 4, sometimes it's Nord CE5, but when it comes to low light shot, I guess Nord CE5 is ahead. But if you're someone who doesn't like too much exposure in low light shots, because you know a lot of people argue that it's a low light shot so it should look like low light, so in that case you might even like the Nord 4 photos as well, but Nord CE5 is slightly ahead. Well, see, I'm not claiming that the OnePlus Nord CE5 is the best camera phone in this segment because I haven't used iQOO, Realme, Vivo or Samsung phones in the same price range. I didn't get the chance to compare those phones with the Nord CE5, but I can give you the assurity that for the price, the cameras which OnePlus is offering is actually very good and you are not going to be disappointed. Now, if we talk about the performance, then there is a lot of concern about the heating issue, mainly because of the MediaTek Dimensity 8350 Apex processor which is used inside this phone. Long name. Well, I know that there is a perspective in people's mind that if a phone is using MediaTek processor, then it might heat, call drops, less efficient, but I guess this is a thing of past. Nowadays MediaTek improved a lot, and here the MediaTek processor is implemented very well by OnePlus, and there is no performance lag, no heating issues, no network drops, and this is absolutely fine. The only problem which I noticed is the RAM management, and that is the problem of the tuning with OnePlus, not just the processor. And this is the 8GB variant with me, so if I have 8 to 10 or more apps open in the background, then I can see that the apps are restarting. So that is definitely one thing which is still OnePlus didn't resolve even after so many OTA updates, but this is a very minor issue, not any deal breaker. So for me it doesn't even matter, but since I noticed, I shared it with you. Now talking about battery, and here the things get even better. I mean, this is a beast. It is not just a fluke that OnePlus is saying that they gave you a 7100 mAh battery, it actually performing like one. In my real day in the life review, you saw that I got 8 hours of screen on time. Then a lot of people said that it was just your first cycle, maybe after more cycle, once the mobile understands your usage pattern, maybe you will get even more. And I guess they were true, but I never really get the chance to experience that, because as I said, I then switched it to secondary phone. But what I noticed interestingly, that one day I suddenly realized that I'm charging this phone after very long gaps. So I thought that I should still test like how much standby time and how much screen on time I'm getting. So I charged the phone to 100%, and then you won't believe me, but it got me 6.5 hours of screen on time. Very light usage, mostly on Wi-Fi, because when I use this phone when I am inside my home. But 4 days of standby, would you believe it? Like 4 days of standby with 6.5 hours of screen on time. So if you're planning to buy this phone as a secondary phone, one of the comments I saw, so you got the idea. You can get 3 to 4 days of battery life if you have the screen on time like 6 hours or 7 hours, just like me. And I can bet that even if you are a primary user, you will get around 9 to 10 hours of screen on time with 2 days of standby. Correct me if I'm wrong, Nord CE 5 users, in the comment box. Now moving ahead to the display, then there is one more again very issue related to the screen resolution. One of the subscribers also asked this question to me, and I gave him this reply about the resolution. You can pause and read. But talking about other essential things, then display is quite bright, and with 1300 nits you will not going to see any problem in direct sunlight. In fact, it is brighter than the OnePlus Nord 4, because Nord 4 comes with 1100 nits only. So it is definitely a very bright display. Plus you will get Aqua Touch, which is also available in Nord 4, but Aqua Touch is actually very usable. Whenever I'm listening to the songs and the phone is in my pocket and I'm cleaning my utensils, my thumb is basically wet because of water, but sometimes I just have to remove the phone to quickly access the media, to change the music, or maybe to unlock the phone. And even with wet fingers, the fingerprint scanner and all those things works without any problem. So yeah, that's nice. And plus a lot of apps are by default set to 60 Hz or 90 Hz, but you can set them separately to 120 Hz via settings. So that's also nice that OnePlus give us more freedom to set the refresh rate according to our own choices. So that is also good. Talking about green line, then of course I guess you guys already know that OnePlus is giving lifetime display warranty on all their OnePlus models. So in future, if you got green line because of software glitch, then they will replace your display for free. If it is a physical damage, then no, you have to pay. And talking about display quality, then the color twinning and the sharpness, the brightness of the display, everything is fine, and the media viewing experience is quite good. But when it comes to stereo speakers and mono speaker debate, again, I mean, there are a lot of people who is absolutely fine with mono speakers, but see, there are a lot of people like me also who is not going to be fine. And there are a lot of if and but. Give me 2 minutes and I will explain both type of users. First, who are mostly going to listen to audios through wireless or wired earphones, like 90% of the time they use that. They don't use the speaker, or even if they use it at like 50 or 60% volume. So for them, the mono speaker is not a problem. And still you are like someone who is coming from a mono speaker phone to this phone, then you won't feel difference, because this is pretty loud. And this is exactly where a lot of people are confusing. They are saying that this is very loud, but stereo speaker versus mono speaker is not about loudness, it's about the quality of the sound. You will get more deep and rich sound in stereo speakers as compared to mono speaker. Mono speaker sounds very thin and low quality in comparison to stereo speakers. So that's the difference. But again, a neutral take is this, that in OnePlus Nord CE 4 we had the stereo speakers. So my belief is always this, that either give us a better, like more improved stereo speakers, or just keep the previous thing. Don't downgrade, because mono speaker is definitely downgrade. You guys can't deny. Even if you are okay with mono speakers, you guys will agree that this is a downgrade, right? Okay, now if we talk about some extra things which I experienced, or let's say which you should know, then you will get call recording, and you can record the call without notifying the other person. You will also get a mode called enable clear voice. If you enable that, then you will get better call quality. You will get 4+6 major Android updates, which is insane. Even in this model, in last 2 months, I got a lot of OTA updates, which is a good sign. So in terms of software experience as well as the reliability, like one user also asked me that he is looking to use the phone for 3 years. I mean, whether you will buy OnePlus Nord 4 or Nord CE 5, both phones are excellent. You can use both the phones for 3 to 4 years without any problem. And then there is always on display as well, and you can do a lot of customization with always on display, and it's always nice to quickly see your notifications and time. And talking about AI features, then my favorite is circle to search and magic eraser, but there are a lot of other useful AI features as well, which you can read on the screen. Alright, now it's time for Q&A. So I picked all your questions and now I'm going to answer all of them one by one. Okay, first thing first, OnePlus Nord CE 5 versus OnePlus Nord 4, which one is good? See, I already showed you the cameras. In camera and performance, camera and battery, definitely Nord CE 5 is ahead. And what else you will get here? Better, definitely brighter display as compared to Nord 4, but Nord 4 has better design, at least for me. Better build quality. This is aluminum build, this is plastic build. The in-hand feel is very good in OnePlus Nord 4 as compared to Nord CE 5, and of course it has stereo speakers as well. But apart from that, the software experience, the display and the performance is very much identical in both the phones. So now it's up to you, like which is more important, in-hand feel, build quality, design, stereo speakers, or slightly better camera, a better battery and slightly brighter display. And both are available for same price, and don't think that this is 1 year old so it is not reliable for long-term usage. This is, and this is also, both phones are reliable for long-term usage. Now I told you what are the advantages in both the phones, so based on that you can pick yourself the right phone. Moving ahead to the next question, is the display good or bad as in this price range? 1.5K resolution कम, but इसमें तो FHD ही है. As I said, full HD है, but it is not a problem. Is Dimensity processor is good for long-term use? Of course it is. And any heating or frame drops in gaming, for that you should watch a gaming review, but there is not any heating issue. He has actually a lot of questions. There is the third question, single speaker परेशान करता है क्या? I gave you the answer. Fourth, practicality, ये और Neo 10R same price पे आएंगे सेल में, तब कौन सा ज़्यादा सही रहेगा? I would go with OnePlus, mainly because of the software experience and the long-term reliability, because of the software again. So yeah, OnePlus for me. I'm not biased. And also I cannot give you the exact answer because I never used iQOO, so I can't tell you the performance, battery and camera of that versus the Nord CE 5. But yeah, just for the software, I know that FunTouchOS is not that great, so I'm not interested in iQOO phones. So that's my take. Well, he already mentioned at the last, as the UI of Neo 10R sucks. So you know bro, then why you are asking? You already know the answer. Now next question. First, is there lens flare in nighttime photography? Yes, there is some. You saw it in the photo samples. Second, need to know details on calling features and network issues. No network issues and calling features I already mentioned. Another question, I just want to know how is the camera, is it good enough to create content for YouTube and Insta? Yeah, that is a good question. So for content creation, of course you can use OnePlus Nord CE 5. Right now I am using the 4K 30 FPS rear camera of the same. You should just focus on the framing. You should learn some basic skills like how to frame the subject perfectly, although the framing of this particular clip is not so good, but still I'm just saying. And if you don't have direct sunlight, then you can invest on light rather than focusing too much on the camera, because any phone which comes with 4K support will give you a good result. And in front camera, if you're getting 4K, then that's a bonus, but here that's not the case, so I am using the rear camera. And if you're watching this video, do let me know what you think about the video quality. Now next question, can you compare and give a speed test of this phone with Poco X7 Pro and tell how much faster is 8400 compared to 8350 Pro? Don't fall for the speed test in 2025 Q4. We are in almost at the end of 2025. You should not focus on these things. Focus on other main priorities like the camera, software, display, performance and all of those things, and then decide. Okay, next question. Bro, can you explain about haptics of this phone? I find many videos claiming that they are average. Yes, they are average. That's why I disabled. Actually, this is not even haptics. This is a terrible vibration, which is so annoying. So yeah, I disabled that. Can you show a good sample video of portrait video mode and its stabilization in good lighting? Okay. Third, stabilization of video. Here you go. So this is the video stabilization test at 4K 30 FPS, currently walking and now little bit jogging. Now this is at ultra steady mode, and when you turn this mode on, it will automatically switch to 1080p 60 fps. Currently walking and now jogging. Fourth, cinematography using its camera. Bro, I don't have time, but you can DM me on Instagram. I will send you a 30-second sample. Fifth, which glass protection is used in front glass? I don't exactly remember. I will mention it here. So yeah, that's it. I covered all the things. I covered all your questions as well. And If you like this video, if you are still watching this video, then I will just request you one thing. Let's just see this horrible stat. I got 350,000 views in last 28 days. So just imagine all of them are just like the viewers, not subscribers. So if you can subscribe the channel, it will be a huge help for me. So yeah, just do that, and also share the video with someone who is looking to buy a OnePlus phone. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video, which is going to be an iPhone 17 video. So stay tuned for that. I will see you there. Bye bye. Take care.